that as an athlete, the only thing that you really can control is how hard you play the game. You really can't. You can't control how much playing time you get. Unless you're a real good player, you're going to get a lot of playing time. But that's kind of up to the coach, and that's a kind of a subjective thing. You don't know how much playing time you're going to get. But whatever playing time you get, you got to spend it 100% all out. I don't care if you're ahead by 100 or if you're behind by 100. Every second you're on the field, on the court, you got to be all out. You got to be all out. It's got to be 100%. If you're behind by 100 and the basketball is getting ready to go out of bounds, and the only way you can get that basketball back into your team is dive for it, and you're behind by 100, you know you're not going to win the game, dive for the ball. And why do I say that? Because you teach yourself how to get better. Coaches can coach you. Justin can give you all of the information on what to do. He can give you information on how to do it, instruction. But the bottom line, folks, is it's got to be in your heart to make it happen. And when you leave here, the things that he tells you here and the things that you do here, if you don't do them away from here on your own, you're not going to get better. You got to wake up in the morning when you put your feet on the floor, guys, and approach every day with a lot of passion and a lot of purpose. You've got to be intentional with everything you do. If you want to get better, you have to have the intention of getting better. You can't just think about it. You got to do things. You got to do something. I always wanted to get better. When I was in high school, I wasn't a good basketball player, but I loved the game of basketball. So my freshman year in college, I used to go into the gymnasium on my own and shoot baskets for 2-3 hours at a time. You go, really? Yeah, because see, a lot of guys were out drinking, a lot of guys were out smoking, a lot of guys were out doing this and doing that. Well, I was involved with athletics. Let me tell you a little story real quick. When I was in the 6th grade, who in here is in the 6th grade? Anybody in the 6th grade? Wow, okay. How old are you?
12.
How old are you? 11. I think I may have been 11 in the 6th grade when my teacher said, you know how they go around the room and they ask you, what do you want to do when you grow up? I said, play pro football for the Green Bay Packers. And the reason I wanted to play for the Green Bay Packers is because they just won the championship. And all kids like champions, right? So I wanted to play for the Green Bay Packers. But if you think I'm small now, you should see me in the 6th grade. I was about that big. Well, maybe that big. Okay? So he said to me, well, that makes sense. Most people, when somebody that big says they want to play football, they laugh at them, right? I mean, if I told you I wanted to play pro football and you saw me, would you think that I would have played pro football if somebody didn't tell you I did? No, no way. Look at him, he goes, no way, dude. It's not even happening. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what other people think. So my teacher said you have to go to a school that has a football team. See, I'd never played football at that point in time in my life. I was 11 years old, never played an organized game of football. We played pickup football. And so he said you have to go to a school that has a football team. And then you have to be a good student. You have to graduate from high school, be a good football player, go to college, graduate from college, be a good football player, and get drafted into the NFL. And when you're 11 years old, there's nothing in the world you cannot do. The world is gigantic. The world is awesome. So at 11 years old, I said, makes sense to me. And believe it or not, guys, that's exactly how it happened. But from that point on, from 11 on, age 11, this is what I did. Every decision that I made was to support the decision to play in the NFL. I didn't drink alcohol. Not because I was a great kid, but I knew alcohol wouldn't help me be a better football player. I didn't smoke cigarettes. Not because I was a great kid, but I knew cigarettes wouldn't help me be a good football player. I didn't hang out with the kids who did, because I knew hanging out with the kids who did wouldn't help me be a good football player. I was a pretty good student. I studied. So what I wanted to do is get a chance to play. And if I got a chance to play, I didn't want to have any of the X's in the boxes, you know? If you go down, smoke, check. You smoker. I drink. Yeah, he checked that box. He does drugs. Check that box. He does this. He does this. Well, he's really small. He's good, but he's really small, so let's forget about him. But, no, he doesn't drink. Oh, he doesn't smoke. Doesn't do drugs. Doesn't make bad decisions. Doesn't hang out with kids who do. Well, maybe we'll give him a chance. See, guys, because all you want in life is a chance. And when you get a chance, you make it the chance of a lifetime. I got drafted into the NFL. I got drafted. How many people know how many draft rounds they have in the NFL now? How many people know? How many? They have 7. Well, when I was being drafted, they had 17. It's a lot. I was drafted in the 16th round, which means, maybe we'll take him. But the bottom line is I didn't care where I was drafted. They gave me a chance. So guys, all you're looking for in life is a chance. But you can't look for someone to give you a chance, although they probably will. Most of the time, we got to go out and make our own chances. And how do we do that? How do you do that as a 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old child? How do you make your own chances? Well, you wake up in the morning, and when you look in the mirror, you decide that you're going to be the best human being you can possibly be. Yeah, is that all? Yeah, that's the start. How can you be a better sister? How many people have brothers and sisters in here? Okay? If you will vow tomorrow to be a better brother or a better sister to your siblings, you're going to improve as a human being. How many of you have teammates? If you will vow to be a better teammate tomorrow than you were today, you're going to be a better human being. And I think you get a theme here. If you become a better human being, and you become better at everything you're going to do, you're going to become a better athlete. Because what you're going to learn to do is believe more in you. And what people are going to learn is that they can trust you. Trust is a very important thing in life.